welcome to I Don't Want to Pilot the Podcast. I'm sorry, I Don't Want to
Pilot
the Podcast. I don't know why we did it like that time.
I'm also Cameron Lewis.
And I'm also Callum McGrady. Welcome back. This will probably be like the 5th episode, I think it is. Because we've changed the whole style of how we're doing it, because obviously the first 3 were practice. The last one, which we probably released last week, I hope I remembered this in the right order. Yes. I just explained how we're changing things up and we're doing shorter episodes. Cameron's not talking like an idiot.
Well, I thought that was never an issue to begin with.
It was an issue, and so we're just doing it like that. Check us out on Spotify. Please like and subscribe.
And Amazon Music.
We're not on Amazon Music yet.
Don't do that then.
Okay. I'd just like to get this out of the way just to start with. Today we're talking about Tower of God.
My favourite anime in the whole wide world.
Yeah. I've brought a knife with me, ready to stab myself.
And then me for recommending it to you.
Oh yeah, and then him for recommending it to me.
It was a good recommendation. It was up there with
good for making me want to hurt myself. I wanted to silent voice myself.
No. It was pretty good.
Why have you got a face so the ass is just towards the camera? Turn around, you perv.
I'm more of a perv from this perspective.
That's a good point.
Okay, no. Tower of God is my favourite anime in the whole wide world. I really like
Is what you would say
if it was good.
If you were stupid.
Okay, no. It's 13 episodes long. It isn't that long.
It's 13 episodes that I wish I'd never watched. We'll start off by basically explaining the basic premise. So there's a tower that they have to climb, that they don't. So there's the main dude, what's his name?
Bam.
Bam, Shakalam. So he lives in a hole. That was never explained, don't worry.
It's Bum.
Yeah. And then he gets found by Rachel, who's blonde.
Or is it Rochelle?
No, it's Rachel.
How do you know that?
And then Rachel's nice to Bam. And then Rachel's like, oh yeah, I'm going, by the way. And she goes somewhere.
I didn't really get that.
No, neither did I. Because then they changed the whole thing towards the end as well.
Yeah, they kept changing the whole dynamic between the two. Like Rachel would look after Bam, but then they never explained how she looked after Bam or how she found Bam or why she was in the hole.
So Bam has no remembrance of his entire life. He just remembers meeting Rachel and Rachel being nice to him, and so he says he owes his life to Rachel. He's indebted to her completely. So then Rachel goes to the Tower
of God,
a Tower of God or something. It's never really explained. And then Bam goes, and he then some princess appears and gives him a sword. And then the sword...
Was it a princess? I thought it was some random
No,
person.
she's a princess.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she the sword apparently is a simp for men. So she gives him his power, and he kills the big shark thing. And
he doesn't kill the big shark thing. The sword does. He didn't do
anything.
Yeah.
I told you the sword's a simp for men. So then he goes into a big battle royale thing about. They have to do a load of tests before they're allowed to climb the tower. So the whole premise of the thing is climbing the tower, but they never climb the tower once. The whole thing is the preliminary rounds where they do these tests.
I think it was meant to have more seasons.
I think
but
so.
It never did.
I wouldn't want it to have any more seasons because they're equally rubbish. Yeah,
just awful.
Yeah. So Bam's whole thing is he wants to find Rachel, be reunited with her.
He's a simp.
Yeah, so then he meets with some dude with blue hair and a big lizard man, and they become the main characters.
They're the only 2 likable characters in the whole show.
Yeah, and so basically, literally, they just keep doing these tests. Then eventually, Rachel comes back in. Turns out Rachel's just an arsehole. Her whole character arc and character development is she becomes more of an arsehole than she was in the last episode.
That is literally it. In every single episode, she becomes more and more likable until the point at the end where you hate her.
I'm just brilliant. I saw it coming, and it happened, and it annoyed me more than anything.
It annoyed me because of Bam's response to it.
Yeah.
Because the sword's the simp for man, and then Bam harnesses that energy and becomes a simp for Rachel the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is a one back for it to him.
It literally makes no sense. She literally is the biggest bumhole to Bam, full stop, and he goes, it's okay.
I love her. She's amazing.
But I owe everything to her. Not the people that are actually helping him and supporting him and literally sacrifice themselves to get him where he is.
Yeah, it's Rachel.
He likes the one that puts him in that position in the first place.
It doesn't make any sense why Rachel hates Bam, because the whole backstory was that Rachel decided to help Bam, and now she just hates him for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. The thing is that when I was watching this, I got about halfway through the anime.
And then thanked me for it.
No. And then I was on Instagram, and I saw a post that said top 10 anime villains of all time. And Rachel was on it. And I was like, how is Rachel a villain? She's just a bit of an arse. I don't know how she was on a top 10 anime villains list. She's not even a villain in the slightest.
She does one villainous thing in the whole show.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, she doesn't seem that villainous to me. And then I watched the rest, and I was like, I still don't think she's that villainous to me. But
no, she's not.
So Tower of God is completely rubbish, and I definitely recommend not watching it.
No, the OP is really, really good. If you've never heard an OP in your entire life.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, like the animation, it's not even like it's got a good animation. I really disliked the animation style.
The animation was.
It was awful. A bit like Devilman Crybaby, but they put a bit more effort into it. I hated the art style for Devilman Crybaby.
The art style was bad, but the animation was really good.
Okay, yeah, I can sort of see that. But Tower of God was just rubbish.
The animation Tower of God was just so bad.
Yeah, it gave me like mixed vibes between like Studio Ghibli and like Devilman Crybaby all sort of merged together.
You really don't like Devilman Crybaby at all?
I really don't like Devilman Crybaby.
It's an amazing anime.
No, it isn't. We'll review that at some point.
We'll get to that at some point.
That's an 18+ anime, that one.
I guess it's going to be like, a not for kids episode.
All of our episodes are not for kids.
Why not?
It says, is it made for... Every time I share it on Snapchat, it's like, says, is this made for kids? No, it's not made for kids. Yeah. But yeah, so this is an even shorter episode. It's Tower of God. Don't watch it. Don't bother watching it at all.
It's actually hard to explain why it's so bad. You just watch it and you just know it. There was one good bit. The whole Crown tournament arc, where they're all in the different rooms and then they had to go for the crown.
Yeah, that's literally one of the only bits of the thing I remember. I remember the very first episode. I remember the crown tournament bit. That's kind of it, and then the end bit. That's literally all. Oh, I remember that one bit because I'd seen it on TikTok before. The one bit where they have to get through the big wall of water stuff, and Bam's just like, oh, it never pushed me back. And everyone's like, what? And the guy's like, that's fine, you can just chill here.
Wait, Bam has so many moments where he's like an alpha Chad, but then he plays it off like an idiot, and they never explain why he's an alpha Chad.
Yeah. Well, there's this whole thing of he was summoned by the tower. They do mention it at one point. But it doesn't explain what that means, because we don't even know what the tower is yet.
Yeah, the whole point of a tower is that if you climb it, you can make a wish at the top of the tower.
Yeah.
And Baum was chosen by the tower, which doesn't make any sense, because why would the tower choose him to make a wish for his own benefit?
Yeah, but then there's the people that have climbed the tower already that come back as like teachers and stuff, and I'm like, brilliant. The best character was the coffee dude.
I still don't remember who the coffee dude was.
He's like the main inquisitor dude, the one that runs all the he sits in his room with his hair up in a bun.
Yeah.
And he's the real antagonist of the whole thing, not Rachel.
No, I didn't.
Because he's the one that tells Rachel, and then she does the thing at the end because of him. But he's actually kind of cool because there's like the one bit where literally one of the king's dudes come down here and he's like, "Oh, you gonna fight me?" He goes, "No, because I'd win." And then he threatens the king's guard dude, and the king guard dude is actually scared. It was pretty good. And they have this whole thing about there's the different princesses of they have this thing where there's all the princesses of the king, and the king's the dude that sits at the top of the tower. So the king has all these princesses that haven't climbed the tower. And why would you, I don't get it. I don't know why. So they're all fighting to climb the tower, but none of them have.
I really like Lizard Girl. The green
you only
girl.
like her because she doesn't wear shoes.
That's not the reason. No, she has a pretty good character arc. The king mega cooked over her entire
That's
race
true.
of people.
She's illegitimate. She shouldn't exist.
Yeah, she's the only likable character.
Yeah.
And then
I like the blue head dude. He's kind of cool.
He had that one cool scene where he summoned a bunch of knives out of his bag, and that's all I remember him for. And then the raptor was not the raptor, the crocodile dude.
I didn't like him because he was just like hunt. I'm gonna kill you. I'm strong. I'm a big strong man.
He was the comment. He was the funny part of the show.
No, it was him and the blue head dude's relationship that was funny. He was never funny by himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. At the halfway point, he goes off with the other crocodile people, and you never see him again.
He comes back though.
He comes back at the end to try and help Bam and Rachel go up the wall.
Yeah.
And that's literally it.
Yeah, that's true.
He just white out one of the best characters. It's not it's hard to have a good character.
Oh no, there was that arc where they had to tag the dude.
Oh,
and blue dude was actually I can't say it because it is a bit of a spoiler because that bit's actually kind of good.
No one's gonna watch it because it's trash anime.
It is trash. There's the bit where he playing as a double agent because he knows if his team loses, and Bam wins, and he has faith that Bam can win. He said if his team loses, Bam will definitely graduate, which means he can climb the tower with him. But if they were to win, Bam would have no chance of graduating.
Yeah.
So he manipulates the leader dude, and he has this whole big plan that's going in, and he has this big plan set up for Bam to win. But then it turns out someone else has an even bigger plan that makes that dude go evil. Evil Knievel.
Except one dude, Evil Knievel.
Yeah.
No, I do remember this
Yeah,
art.
that was actually it's all right, but it's still the anime is rubbish. I definitely wouldn't recommend it.
It's so bad. Apparently, it gets better in the webtoons, but I don't have like 400 hours to waste.
Or enough care
Yeah.
to want to read it.
Bam's just so awful.
Yeah.
He's the worst protagonist in anything.
So
I've ever
what would
seen.
you rate it out of 10 then?
5.
I gave it a 4. That's just how bad it is.
Well, I always like things from like a 4 to 10 scale, so 5's like pretty bad.
Yeah. What would you offer as like an alternative then?
Tower of God.
Yeah. Something that's similar. It has to be obviously you can't just say Death Note because it has to be similar.
Just Death Note. Any trashy isekai.
Isekai not trash. Definitely isekai is so much better though.
The isekai is trash. It's just like this is at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Well, I think that like concludes. Just basically just don't watch it. Please check us out on Spotify. I'll put the link in the description.
And
Subscribe.
Amazon Music.
We're not on Amazon Music. Stop saying that.
We might be by the
will
time
not.
this comes out, we actually might be.
I know I can't be bothered to do it. It's a big faff.
Okay.
I don't know how to go onto Amazon Music.
You download the app.
Funny guy. Okay. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. I don't think we've got any more bonus videos coming out. We had that one. We can scratch this off the list now.
Wait, is it on the list?
Where's Tower of God on the list? We'll check if it's on the list.
I don't think it's on the list.
Ow.
Is Dio okay?
Dio's fine. Don't shake him. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.